Hepinize selamlar dostlar. Hogwarts Legacy 15. bölümle karşınızdayız. Bir önceki bölümde Sarışın ablamızın amcasını kurtardık. Şimdi kankamız Sebo'nun yanına gidiyoruz. Böyle ön taraflara doğru inelim.
Revelio.
Kız,
Hello, Adelaide. How are you and your uncle doing?
Very well, thanks to you. The more I learn about Ranrock's foul lot, the more astounded I am that my uncle survived. I looked back over his old owls and noticed that they included pertinent details about his rare metal deposits. I believe that Ranrock's fiends were after those deposits and that they needed my uncle's knowledge. He was willingly going to rot away in that cell to keep me safe.
Any other pertinent details about those owls?
Plenty. Uncle Roland couldn't be certain, but he thought he overheard goblins talking about infusing something into goblin silver. He wasn't sure what they meant, but something about the way they spoke of it made his skin crawl. Ugh, it's clear you saved my uncle from a very bad lot.
It was
şey
nothing
değil
at
ya.
all,
Bir
Adelaide.
ara bir kahve
I'm
içelim
just
ama.
glad your uncle's safe.
So am I. Seeing him again was such a relief. I told him that he must remain vigilant from now on. I, for one, can't help but look over my shoulder now whenever I leave the castle grounds.
Çok tek gezme. Bir de akşamları gezme yani direkt. Burada da böyle mal gibi durmuşsun. Durma yani, böyle şeyler yapma. Yat. Bu Peeves Harry Potter'ın diğer oyunlarında var mıydı bilmiyorum ama bu sefer yapacağım ben. Neymiş bu? Kaçmış? 4.
Confringo.
İki, 4. Yuvarlak o. O. Ortasında çizgi olan üçgen 3, diğeri 1.
Confringo.
O ne lan öyle? Çocuklar çıkın yoldan. Kanka insene aşağı. Bak. Görmüyoruz ya. Oha.
Revelio.
Lan yoksa yol güzergahı var ya. Basilisk'i acaba gösterecek mi ya? Çok merak ediyorum. Herhangi bir yerde denk geleceğiz mi acaba? Neyse. Onunla alakalı ufak bir easter egg gördüğüm gibi internette ama onu herhalde koymuşlardır ya. Ya onsuz olmaz abi. Onu böyle bir keşfetsek falan, o odaya girsek.
Hey, it's me, Gareth.
Oğlum yürü git
Do you
lan.
have a moment?
Sen salaksın, senin görevlerini şey yapmam da.
Anything to do with the dark art should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking about?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here in Hogwarts.
Hadi
Ominous swears it was
bakalım.
used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it. I reminded him that Anne needs a cure. This scriptorium could hold the answers we need.
The
Merak
dark
ediyorum
arts do
kanka.
pique my interest.
There's more to dark magic than people realize. The Gaunts know this better than most. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I'd like to know more about it if you wouldn't mind telling me. I won't repeat it.
Very well. But do keep this between us. Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar with the Cruciatus curse?
Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus curse, also known as the torture curse, inflicts excruciating pain on the victim.
Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on muggles for sport. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time he was asked to cast it himself as a child, he couldn't bring himself to do it. As punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when asked to cast it again, he relented. I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still hasn't forgiven himself.
Ana.
How horrible. Poor Ominous. He was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. That is until I came along. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up listening to me. I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll have news soon enough. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
Ya oğlum Kriyatus lanetini de öğretseydin ya yanlışlıkla.
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
Devam. Bir görevimiz daha hızlıca bitti. Güzel. Hemen buradan dışarıya bir atlayalım. Hemen oradan da 3 süpürgeye. Bakalım olay neymiş ne değilmiş. O cüce bize ihanet ettiyse var ya. Onu da Ranrock'un üstüne koyar. İkisini bir çarparım. Dur lan. Gençler bir çıkın, acelem var. Pardon ya. Yol kaşıdı değil mi?
Glad you came.
Revelio. Hello, Rona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favor for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
Hadi bakalım kime şimdi sevap
I
işliyoruz.
don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it.
Hadi bakalım, bir de o abla da değil.
You'll find
Yolda
a hamlet
bulacağız.
just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Çok hızlıca hemen şunları da bir yapayım. Lan. Vur şuna kıçından. Pardon.
Seems a pleasant enough little place. Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find...
Dayı pardon ya.
Ranrock's
Kafana
loyalists are a
indi.
menace.
I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. Never imagined they'd act this deadly. I'm Claire Beaumont, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless.
Yeri
My
göster
brother
ben çarparım
Bardolph
onu.
dared to stand up to them and ended up in St. Mungo's. I'm simply at my wit's end.
How did your brother Bardolph end up in St. Mungo's?
Bardolph had spent the entire day hand-picking herbs and roots for us. When a group of Ranrock's lot appeared and demanded the harvest for themselves, Bardolph refused. In their anger, they hurled him against a rock and robbed him. The moment he left St. Mungo's, he vowed revenge. I worry he may be dabbling in magic that he will one day regret.
You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where, precisely?
To the south, across the river. Last I heard, there were several loyalists in each camp. I won't go near them.
Why don't you simply leave the area for now?
Upper Hogsfield is my home. Baldolph and I grew up here. No, we are standing firm. Once my brother returns, then we shall decide what to do next. He's gone to seek Victor Rookwood's advice. I didn't approve of that idea, but perhaps in the end it will help.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious.
Abla sen rahat ol ya. Sen onlara dua
We
et
should
ama.
not have to live in fear. This is our home.
Şöyle can alıcı bir görünümle gidelim oraya. Ne varmış yeni? Şey diyeceğim.
New instruments are expensive, you know.
It seems as though things are getting worse.
Bardolph Beaumont should have returned. Had by dark wizards he was.
Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this.
Belanız geliyor lan, kaçın.
One less human to worry about.
One of Ranrock's camps. Exactly.
Confringo.
One less human to worry about. How nice. Stop. How nice.
Incendio!
Lucky that's all. I won't rest.
Confringo! Too late for you to learn the error of your ways. One camp down, one more to go. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio.
Up for a bit of dying, are we? Not quiet enough.
Confringo. Accio. Confringo.
I won't rest. Accustomed to that. Such arrogance.
Confringo.
There you are.
Accio.
How nice of you to stop. You're no match for me. I won't rest.
Confringo.
Arrogant child.
Görelim bakalım kim çözmüş dayı.
Confringo.
You seem tired. Why? Stretch it out longer than necessary.
Confringo. Both camps cleared. Madam Beaumont will be glad to hear that. Revelio.
Oo bir dakika. Bu ne?
Who lived here, I wonder?
Hemen kısaca şuna da bir bakalım ya.
Confringo. Revelio. Only Professor Fig could have seen that. Revelio. Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
I do miss the bustle of business.
Evet
Hello,
ablacığım
Madam
yaptık o
Beaumont.
işi.
Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out? How?
It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed.
When my brother returns, this news will mean the world to him. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
What do you have for sale?
Neyim var abla? Hemen satalım elimizdekileri de.
What are you looking for? Thank you. Sincerely.
Neler ablamız?
Marvellous. I could always use more of these. Thank you for passing through.
Tips in the hat, if you please.
Hemen zıplayalım bir sonraki görevimize. Yok be o ne öyle. Böyle gizli takılalım biraz. Şatoya gittiğimizde şey yaparız.
Spare a canut, a pickle, a galleon.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect hawk lumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Tabii ki de.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk clumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the
Allah'ım sen
cavern.
sabır ver ya.
The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk clumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it. Hope they know what they're doing.
Ağzınızı var ya. Hadi izliyorsun.
How many witches and witches?
Revelio. This must be the cabin Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
İnşallah çok meşakkatli bir şey değildir ya.
We'll need to visit the cave to find Zerona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more. Let's have a look around. See if I can find that box of letters. That's all the hawk lumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio. Confringo.
Wow wow wow.
Lumos.
Açıyor lan.
Confringo. Revelio. Revelio.
Abi nefret ediyorum böyle şeylerden işte ya. Her taraftan birbirine çıkan delikler.
Revelio.
Eyvallah buradan kayacağız.
Either I'll have to fight.
Adamlar iş.
Confringo. Potato. Finger. Placing. Confringo.
Adam.
One less foul hulking brute.
Manyak hayvan seni.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Lan
Lumos.
şöyle. Alıyoruz kör kütük ya.
Revelio.
Buradan geldik.
Confringo. Revelio.
Buradan devam.
Revelio. I should take this box of letters to Serona. She'll be glad to have it back.
Sonunda ya. Bu ne Allah aşkına? Git bitmiyor, git bitmiyor.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
I saw what you did!
Hello, Serona. I have good news. I was able
Aldık
to
senin
provide your friend
mektupları.
Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk clumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, It's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard, I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her. And for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
O tahmin ettiğim şeyse 2 saniye, ona da hemen bakabiliriz. Bu astroloji olaylarından bir tanesine denk geldim galiba da, ona hemen 2 saniye bakıp aradan çıkartalım.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. Confringo!
Hadi artık. Yes.
Revelio. Abandoned
Aynen.
long ago, no doubt. Here's one of those tables Professor Shah mentioned.
Gece değil mi ya?
Knowing a meat, he's likely studied here.
Lan bu ne? Diye bulduk valla. Evet. Bir de 80 XP'mizi de çaktık. Ateşli süpürgemizle de şöyle yakışıklı poz buluyoruz.
Revelio.
Aslında bir bölümde bunları tıkır tıkır geçmek gerek. Bir bölümde başka bir tanesine bakmak gerek derken öyle şeyleri yuvarlarız canım. Ara sıra sadece yan görevleri yaparız. Ara sıra da sadece ana görevler. Şöyle. Yan görevler bitti galiba. Aynen. Bunu daha sonra şey yapacağız. Evet. Bir bölümümüzün daha sonuna geldik. İzlediğiniz için teşekkür ediyorum. Kanala abone olmayı unutmazsanız beni mutlu edersiniz. Hoşça kalınız efendim.